shop. I'm Ken. Had a request for a video about 4.5-inch angle grinders, or 4-inch, or yeah. Anyways, 4.5 inch is what I have in the shop. That's my choice. So I've got 5 different models here. I'm going to go over what I like about each one of them and what I don't like about each one of them, and we'll go from there. So let's zoom you in here and we'll take a look at them. First one we're going to look at is my old Black & Decker. Bought this in 1990. It still runs. It needs new bearings. Just haven't gotten around to doing anything with it yet. It's kind of a backup at this point in its life. Had the brushes, I replaced the brushes once in its lifetime, and overall it's been a good grinder. This is a Black & Decker Industrial. 2750 is the model number on it. 6 amps. Lowest RPM of all of the ones I have is 10,000. It's got the paddle switch on it, which is not my favorite because I tend to throw my grinders down on the bench, and a lot of times they're still running when I do so, and if there's something sitting on the bench it can hit the paddle switch. So paddle switch is not my favorite. And on this one I love the cord. It is extremely flexible, and that's one thing I look for in tools is a flexible cord, because you're plugging it in, you're moving it around, you gotta coil it up to store it, and a flexible cord will make just life a lot easier. So that's the Black & Decker. It's like I said, it's 27 years old, something like that. Probably can't get it anymore, but if you find one at an estate sale or a garage sale, it's in good shape, spins freely. Go ahead, it's a great grinder. Next one on my list here is a Hitachi. Now Menards had this one on clearance last summer. I think it was 25 bucks, so I picked it up because you can never have too many angle grinders. It's kind of like routers and hammers. I think I have an issue, a big one. Anyhow, this is the one I run the cut brush on. It's the G12SS, 5 amps, 11,000 RPMs. The cord sucks. The switch on the top is kind of inconvenient and I don't like it. I like the switch on the side. As far as cup change and stuff, it's got a good solid lock to it. I haven't burned it up yet running a cup brush. That's all this one's ever done, is run the cup brush. Let's see, 5 amps and 11,000 RPMs, and like I said, the cord is very stiff and not very conducive to coiling up and hanging and storing. So cord gets a down check. So far the grinder's been okay for a $25 grinder. Next on the list is the Porter cable, and this is the PC60TAG. Bought this on a special that Amazon was running in conjunction with Porter cable. Good solid locking switch on the side. I like it. Taps off really easily. Once again, the cord sucks. Handle can go on either side. I don't like the locking button. It's plastic. It just doesn't feel firm. I'm not a big fan of the cam action guard. It works, but it's not my favorite guard. This one this is on my second disc. I tried to try out the Porter cable disc. It's held up just fine. 6 amps, 12,000 RPM, and like I said, I got this. Actually, I bought 4 of them because it was a buy one get one half off, and there was a goof up with the way it worked. And so, if you bought the same 2 of the same model, you got them both got half off. So you bought one got one free. So they were like, I think it came to $20 a piece. So I've got 3 more still in the box as backups for that one. Next on the list is the Bosch, and this is the 1375-01. Same one that we did the video of a couple weeks back, where we let the magic smoke out of it. Let the magic smoke out because I was running a 7-inch cutoff wheel cutting out the springs on my son's truck and cutting through the rubber bushings and the hardened steel bolt. So yeah, operator error, not tool error. Let's see, 6 amps, 11,000 RPMs. The cord on this is awesome. It's very flexible. It's right up there with the Black & Decker. Side switch. It's very easy to use. I like the lock button. Makes it very easy to spin the discs off and on. Nice handle. It's rubberized. It's comfortable. This is the one I use I run with flap discs, and it's held up extremely well. Run through a lot of discs with this thing, and yeah, I recommend that grinder. And that one I bought at Home Depot. It was a 2-pack special for about $80. So you got 2 of them. So for about that $80. Last one in my arsenal for 4.5-inch grinders is the Rigid, and that is the R1006. This is an 8 amp, 11,000 RPMs. The cord is just so. It's better than the really cheap ones, but it's not as good as the Bosch or the Black & Decker. I like the guard adjustment. Very easy to use. Switch, once again, nice firm feel to it, easy to use on the side. Handle could be better. So this is the one I run with a cutoff wheel, because I tend to lean on these kind of hard. Once again, this was a 2-pack deal, about $80 at Home Depot a couple years ago. Got 2 of them for $80. The other one runs the Lennox blade on it. What is that called? So the Lennox Metal Max is what I run on the other one, and I like these. They're a little expensive, about I've seen them anywhere from $15 to $18 a piece for the 4.5-inch. It will chew through some metal. It really does. I've got the other one on there. It's just dulling out. I used it the other day to cut the wire mesh for a project, and I noticed that it was just it stopped cutting, but I have abused the hell out of this thing. Nice thing about these is that you twist them a little bit at an angle, it doesn't shatter and fly all over the place. It just slows the grinder down. So metal with a diamond edge. So says it makes 1,000 cuts, and I don't know what they were cutting for 1,000 cuts, because I probably got, I'd say a couple thousand inches of cut out of it. Cut a lot of wire mesh with it, a lot of tubing, done plunge cuts in 1/4 and 3/8 inch angle, plunge cuts in plate, and cut along lines on plate and stuff, and I'm really impressed. I was impressed enough to buy a second one, so as a backup. So there you go. So as far as grinders go, I recommend having more than one. I would have a minimum of 3 grinders in the shop. Probably 4 would be my minimum. Just for the reason that I like being able to grab a grinder and use it, and then not have to change discs for the next operation, and then change discs back for the other one. So I would have one for a regular grinding wheel, which I've got on the Porter cable, one for a cut brush, which I have on the Hitachi, one for a flap disc on the Bosch, and one for a cutoff wheel of some type that I got on the Rigid. So all of them, the Bosch and the Rigid are the 2 smoothest. They tend to not vibrate as much as the other ones. I have had high-end grinders in the shop, Metabos, Milwaukee, and DeWalt, and they're all dead now. They're all gone. I tend to kill grinders, so I don't buy expensive ones. I don't know if it's because I just abuse the hell out of them, or if it's something else, but I do use them a lot, and as you've seen from my videos, that there's very rarely a video that a grinder doesn't come out in. At some point, one of them for something, and like I said, 4 would be my minimum and just to keep a different type of wheel on each one. Sometimes I have 5 or 6 going because I might have 2 or 3 different flap discs going. You know, like I said, I keep cutoff wheels on the 2 rigids. One's a regular standard fiber cutoff wheel, and one's the Lennox Metal Max. So that comes in really handy to have these at your disposal, and just be able to grab the grinder that fits your need at the time. All right, guys, that's my thoughts on grinders. Of course, I've got the big Bosch with the 7-inch wheel on it, or the 9-inch sanding disc on it with a backing pad, and they all get used for different things. And so if you like what we did here today, please go ahead and hit the thumbs up button down there below. If you'd like to, please leave a comment on your thoughts about grinders and which ones you like and why. And go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed. And you can also find us now on Instagram at Wooden Metal Workshop. No dashes, just Wooden Metal Workshop. We post up project videos and pictures, little short stuff on there, several times a week, sometimes several times a day, just to keep up what's going on here. All right, guys, catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.